We have a full-service veteran center. That means if you're a veteran, a prospective veteran, a student veteran, a veteran who is an employee, we also serve our employees. And if you're a veteran in the state of Missouri and you have a question or you need something, call us or come in. What we did was we had this wonderful space in the Memorial Union. First thing I did was put out an email to everyone in the MSVA and said, do you have any pictures you like? Send them to me. I had them framed and they're all over our office. One of our Marines gave us his uniform with all of his medals on it and everything. We had him put it in a shadow box and it's up there. We have gotten so much interest just because of that. People have come in and oohed and awed. So it's turning out really nice. The Vice Chancellor for Student Activities, or Student Affairs, sorry Kathy, gave us a flat screen TV. So suddenly we came up with every military video you could imagine, including some World War II and Korean War movies. So we have Burt Lancaster and Gregory Peck's. And we have lots of chairs. People come in and sit down between classes. People come in and sit down and chat. Wonderful, wonderful discussions and debates go on. The news is talked about a lot, so it's their place to hang out. The MSVA has a presence there all of the time. And what I did was I ended up hiring a Navy veteran who, and her title is Student Services Advisor, which is a fairly up there title, and she's wonderful. And then we hired 5 VA work study. They're free, guys. They're free. The VA pays for them. They're free. Did I say they're free? So when you're talking with your administration, there's a lot you can do on the cheap. On the cheap. You really can. It's amazing. We have put this thing together for very little money. The other thing we did was as soon as we started to grow and blossom, is I went to every single department on campus, academic and support, or services departments, and said, I would like to have a point of contact person. I need someone to talk to that when I have either an emergency or just a question or a problem on my hands, I want to be able to talk to someone who knows what I'm talking about. They don't have to know VA rules and regulations. They just have to know a little bit about what a veteran is and what's unique to veterans, particularly in their areas. I went to I'm a member of the Academic Advisors Board, and I routinely give out PowerPoints to, again, point out, don't load up someone who hasn't been in school for 6 or 7 years with 18 hours of physics and chemistry. But on the other hand, don't give them 11 hours. They're not full-time. They won't get full benefits. So I went to the student health. I went to the counseling offices on campus. I've been to the VA and ended up getting on the board of directors for the Truman VA Hospital. So I have points of contact. I have made it a point to get someone with ease, to have a name and be able to call someone and say, okay, I have this situation. And I'm not talking about emergency situations, I'm just talking about routine. Can you help me with this? And then they do. The other thing I have done is gone out and talked with academic departments, particularly the faculty. And I have to tell you that I just get warm and fuzzy when I talk about our faculty, because we have had faculty that have gone over and above. Let me give you an example. We had a woman who was getting ready to graduate. She was in her senior year and in her going to begin her final semester, and she got orders to Afghanistan. Now, she was going to miss graduation. So her, and I had nothing to do with this, but her professors in her department said, what are you going to be doing in Afghanistan? Are you going to be doing administrative work, or are you going to be out in the field? She said, I'm going to be do administrative work. And they said, then let's Skype you in. She didn't miss a class. She took all the finals, took all of the midterms and tests, and graduated on time. She couldn't come back for graduation, but she graduated on time. That is a good department. But I find similar stories with our professors. And we do have a very streamlined policy for students who are having to deploy and who are coming back from deployment. That's also another really important consideration. The other thing I have done, and by the way, on that, the Military Friendly Task Force, we had the president and the vice president of the MSBA represented on that task force. And one of them even chaired one of the subcommittees. When there is a problem or a question about veterans, the president of the MSBA is always involved in the decision making. The chancellor absolutely requires that. Annie Sobel, General Sobel, she didn't say this, but she's also the chair of the Chancellor's Military Affairs Committee, and that is the Veterans Center Advisory Committee. We have a graduate veteran from the MSBA on that committee, as well as the president always has a presence on that committee. So it's something that so far I haven't really talked about a lot of money. My salary, I can tell you, is not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. Our advisor, same thing. The 5 wonderful men and women who work for us in the office are free. By the way, they're all prior active duty. Let me give you an example of that. You have this military person that I've just described walk in to the office, typically holding an ED-214. He walks in and he's standing like this. His shoulders are straight and tense. And he comes into the office and he's kind of intrigued with the things that are on the wall, but then he walks in and he says, I'm here to get my VA benefits. How do I do that? And one of our students gets up and says, hi, I'm Jason. I was a medic in the Navy. What branch were you in? I love to watch body language. They totally release. I mean, it's amazing. They calm down and they go, oh, well, I was in the Marine Corps. I'm here to get VA benefits and I was told I should come here. Sure, come on in. And then that's what it happens. And then they create a dialogue. We don't simply take the paper work. We don't simply give out information. We ask them, have they moved into Columbia yet? Do they need help moving? Do they need help finding housing? Do they need help finding a bank in Columbia? What do they need help in? Any assistance at all, because the MSBA comes to their aid. We also ask them, do they want to be contacted? And this is on our form. Do you want to be contacted by the MSBA? Every time they say it. Yes. Yes, they do. And so we have them on a listserv so they know when the MSBA is meeting. Then we also have a mentoring system. If this student, this person is going to be going into biological sciences, we find another veteran. Again, this was brought up or put through by the MSBA, and they head it up. We have a form, we have them fill it out, And then we send it to the chairman for the mentors. And then what he does is turns out it's he finds a person who's also in biological sciences. This person isn't going to teach in biological sciences, but he's going to say, don't take that, professor. Or, listen, the really good academic advisor is so-and-so in biological sciences. And by the way, I have notes from Bio 802. So if you'd like my old notes. But what it really does is it creates a community for them. And suddenly now this person who's had to make all of these lifelong decisions comes to a place and he finds a community, he finds support. He knows, I have actually been driving to Denver to see my son and my husband and found out that we had a student who had very terrible panic attack, and on the road I'm calling all over, getting help for him, and the main help I got for him was not only at student health, because I couldn't get him into the VA fast enough, but I got him 2 MSVA members who picked him up at his house and drove him over to the student health and stayed with him until things were calmed down. And then we could get him into the VA. We do this for everyone. We do have veterans with disabilities. We are just down the hall from Disability Services, and there again, we get a lot of instantaneous help from that. This isn't difficult. This isn't expensive. And I have to tell you, I have more fun than you can imagine because these folks are really fun to be with. And they are very, very appreciative. So it seems like a good thing to do.